Hey guys, Michael Furlong here from Rentrollmaximiser, and I am chatting with 2021 Small Agency of the Year award winner, Michelle Watt. That's going to be on your business card, but it'll be about that long. Congratulations.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Really, really well. It's the PPM Awards 2021 Small Agency of the Year.
Yep, small and growing. And we've grown past where we needed to be, where the cutoff was. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so you were saying before that when you submitted the awards, it was sub 400. You're now 450?
Nearly 450, yep.
450 thereabouts. Okay, that's a decent rent roll.
Yeah, it is, yep. You think?
Okay. So we want to talk a little bit about today, systems, tech, how you manage, how do you do the stuff? Yeah, we'll talk about that. So are you all cloud-based? Do you have any philosophies on working from home, working remote? Because you're in Brisbane, so you're still actually allowed to go to the office.
Yeah, we can go drinking, we can go walking, we can do a lot of things, but we weren't going to talk about that, were we?
Thanks, Michelle. Well, actually, I wasn't, and I'm not. So not being in lockdown, I can go to the letterbox and back, and anything outside of that, we're restricted.
Yes, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Woohoo! Living in paradise in Victoria. So let's bring this back. So talk to me. What's your office structure like? Do you run end to end? Do the staff run end to end property management? Do you have a layered approach where it's task based? How have you set the business up?
It's a little bit of a hybrid. So we've set it up so that our property managers largely just deal with the owners and the tenants and the trades.
Yep.
Our admin team take care of most of the admin tasks. So the property managers will, for instance, they'll do the work orders out, they'll do leases out, and obviously prepare their entries and exits. I'll take care of all that, but like any invoicing, processing the leases back into the system, that sort of thing is done by our admin team. Our property managers don't undertake any trust accounting. That again is done by our office manager.
Can we just go back a sec? When you say processing, so you're using the REIQ,
the RealWorks,
documents, and they're all cloud-based or electronic signatures.
Yep.
So they're populated straight out. Do you use PropertyMe or Tree?
Yes.
Or PropertyMe?
PropertyMe.
Okay. So does it have an API link direct, or do you have to manually input the information?
We manually put it back in to the system.
Yep. And then you send it out to the tenants?
Oh, sorry. It automatically sends to the tenants. Once they've signed it, it comes back into us for signing.
Yes.
So it comes back in. We run our eye over it, make sure that everything's, as it should have been when it went out. But of course, sometimes things go wrong.
Sure.
We check it, make sure everything's spot on, and then they will update all the figures, numbers, dates, and so on into the system.
So who does the data entry then back into PropertyMe? Is it admin or
admin?
Admin do that. So are you using virtual assistants?
Nope.
Virtual staff don't have any VAs?
No.
Okay.
I no, because
deliberate?
D is I yell at her from here. That's kind of virtual.
Not quite what I meant, but
no.
So
I kind of think we might down the track, but I don't know. I don't feel the need for it just now.
I was speaking to an office yesterday out of Sydney, 85 properties, and we're going to put a VA in there. So you might definitely be ready at 400 plus. So I'll chat to you about that at a later stage, because some of the stuff they can take away from your PMs. But it's you've got an admin process, and the PMs are more customer facing. Is that what I
Correct.
get?
Yes. Yep. And
And
that works really well.
And trust accounting's done by
our office manager.
Okay.
And me when she's on holidays, and no one likes that.
I'll leave that. I'll leave that. So you've got PropertyMe, RealWorks. Is it so? Do you use Inspection Express or Manager? What do you use for what?
PropertyMe.
Using the PropertyMe app for routines.
Yeah, so we're looking at Inspection Express.
Yes.
We also use Inspect Real Estate for just about everything else. Again, we're just doing a little bit of a review on the efficiencies there.
Sure.
And the costs.
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes we can get a little bit fooled in the way that we just bring in more apps, more tech.
Oh, 100%.
And we end up app stacking, but not necessarily saving you more time.
Exactly. And you've got to be mindful of the look and feel of what you're using and how it's being projected outwards as well. Yep. And I'm not loving some of it. So it's kind of time, and it's been good and it's served its purpose. But there are a few things that I think we can look at, and there's lots of cool stuff coming out that warrants some exploration.
Now, you spoke a couple of times we've been chatting this afternoon, you spoke a little bit about checklists. You've used that a lot, and you want to get stuff out of your head. Where does it go to? Is it written down, documented? Are you using a project management system? Are you using anything like?
No. So no? all of our processes are paper checklists.
Okay.
I have 2 staff members that are slowly dragging us, kicking and screaming, into a paperless office.
Sure.
We are at the moment doing Nina Sutton's
PM Revive.
PM Revive, which I'm loving. And, the fabulous Jodie Stainton was talking the other day. I know Jodie quite well.
Yeah.
And she was talking about, working remotely and some different pieces of software that she's found useful. And so I am looking at, we easily go remote when we need to. That's not a problem there, but I'd like to get everything on Teams, use Trello or something like that, we actually have everything digital. It's certainly the way to go. But for me, I'm not technologically savvy, so it's always kind of like, no, not for me. Not to say it's never for me. Just I haven't had the headspace. I haven't had this. I just haven't been where I needed to do it. But I know right now where I am right now is the right time to take us to the next level.
Maybe outside of this, I'll show you, go through some stuff with Trello. I actually worked with Jode for 2 years.
Okay.
At LPMA. She's good value. Teams is something which a lot of the offices use, and I'm looking at it now. One of the offices I'm involved in consulting use Teams or Skype or Slack. They're all communication tools. But Trello, I'll show you some Trello stuff and you'll be blown away.
Oh, look, I looked at it. I probably looked at it 12 months ago, and I just kind of glazed over. I was like, oh no.
Where do I start?
Yeah, where do I start? And in fact, there was myself and another couple of property managers in Jodie's session the other day, and we figure we probably need a wine night on Zoom.
Yep.
And she can just run us through a bit of stuff, and I think she would be fairly okay with that.
Well, prior to this afternoon, us catching up, Michelle, I was recording some Trello training, online training stuff. Because it's easy.
I'm sure it is.
But you've got to know, and the point that I was going to, and I made this afternoon was, if you don't have a methodology behind your structure, all it is just a program. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make it. So, do you follow somebody? You're following Jodie. You're saying that, and you're going to Nina's program. What sort of podcasts or learning or conferences do you go to? Where do you pick up your ideas? Because as a leader of a business, the team are looking for you for inspiration, I think.
I thought they were just looking to me for wine. I've been very fortunate in that I've had several, 3 great mentors. So obviously, or 4, Gay and Christy Matthews. They were my Harcourt's principals. And
where's their office?
They were at Burpengary. They've merged with the Redcliffe office.
Okay.
And become a new entity. So those ladies, Gay is a very strong, both of them are actually, really strong women, great work ethic. And both of those ladies taught me very early in the piece, when I would, you know, consider that I couldn't do something or I wasn't capable of it. That was just not an option.
Sure.
You can do this, you know, and they made me really just rise to whatever was put in front of me.
Yes.
And it was the same with Laura Valenti at Solutions. You know, again, a really strong woman, taught me a lot. And of course, I had Joanne Oliveri as my mentor for a few years.
Yep.
You know, I learned a lot from Jo as well. So I've been very fortunate there. Who do I follow? I'm just on a lot of forums. You know, I don't follow any one person particularly. I just kind of, I'm a real scanner. I see stuff and I like Hayley Michell. I love Hayley. I love Nina. I love what Nina's doing in the industry. So I think what she's doing is so badly needed.
Yeah.
In terms of training our property managers coming through. Podcasts, I listen to a lot of BNI stuff, which has been a really interesting process. As I said, I'm only new to BNI, and for people that aren't, there's a couple of online learning courses that you need to do when you first get started, and it's been really interesting because a lot of that, I was sitting there going, like heaps of light bulb moments. I can take that into my business, or this is applicable to my business. We do the same thing. So I listen to lots of BNI stuff.
Which is all personal development.
Personal development. I read a lot of books, you know, like, and there's always someone saying, oh, what's a great book to read? Julie Davis is great at it. You know, she'll often say, here's a great book. You know, I'll race straight out and buy it or grab it as an audio book or
Have you listened to Purple Cow?
No.
Jot that one down. It's a very good, it's an audio book. You can get that one. Very, very good positioning for separating your business. So making your, we spoke before about points of difference, and Purple Cow's a good one. And I've actually got Blue Ocean Strategy up there. Have you read that one?
No.
Blue Ocean Strategy is another really, really good one.
Okay.
They're two easy ones to either on Audible or something like that. I use Script, which is, do you listen to audiobooks?
Oh, I do. Not as much as I probably could. I actually like paper. So I like to just grab a book. I have a fabulous rooftop where I live.
Yep.
So it's, you know, I'll go and curl up on a couch there, or on a nice day, you know, lie on a sunbed and just read. So, you know, I've always got a stack of books that I'm trying to get through, and then people keep suggesting great reads, so I just buy them and just add them to the pile.
So not that I wish to bring this up, but you've brought up the fact that you're allowed to drink, go out to a bar. Now you're rubbing it in that you actually have sun.
Yes.
We're
out in the sky today.
We're in Melbourne. We're not allowed either of those.
Oh, I know. That's why I left there. You'll never get me south of the border again.
The sun has been stopped as well. They're not allowed to have sun. It's just rain.
He's not a nice man, that Dan, is he?
So what about NPS? Do you do Net Promoter Score?
I'm being game enough.
Okay. Why is that?
Oh, I don't like. I don't want to hear anything yucky about it.
Isn't it better?
It's on my to-do list.
Yes.
For early next year.
Okay.
I think I'll be brave enough by then.
Yeah. Even if you just
and honestly, that's all it comes down to. I just didn't want to hear anything. I just didn't want to get a negative score or a bad score or anything else. I only want good scores.
Set the expectations low and then build up to them, because what you'll find is, and I don't mean that because of your business, but it's more the owners have never been asked. So as a result, often what will happen, you might ask 100 owners and batch it. Don't go and do 400 owners at once, because the biggest issue with people who roll out NPS to start off with is they go and ask everyone, and then they're inundated with all the surveys and they get a little bit anxious and they think, well, what do I, if you don't respond to each of the negatives, you should never have asked. Yes. So be prepared. So do it with 50, do 50, and then the next month do another 50, then do another 50 and another 50. And then at least you can manage those negatives. But always pick up, I've got a brand, a franchise that I deal with now, and all the negatives or any issues, team leaders ring and directors ring. So they're the things you want to jump onto real quick.
Yeah. And I know we've got to do it. And again, and that's probably an excuse, I just haven't had the headspace, or I haven't allowed the headspace to tackle it.
Yep. And I notice you're doing really well with your Google reviews. You're sitting at around 90 thereabouts. You're just under the 100 mark. Is there a strategy there, Michelle, with Google?
Yes. So as we finish a process, whether it's onboarding a new owner or a new tenant,
yes,
we email them and just ask them to share their thoughts with us, good, bad, or otherwise. And we get, we don't, with 90 and 400 odd properties, we're obviously not getting a great take up, but
sure.
We are looking at different days. I'm going to be looking at different days of the week. I've heard that some days are better than others to ask the question. So yeah, we'll just look at that.
There's an office that I'm doing a lot of work with at the moment where we made Google reviews as part of the testimonials, and we put as part of the KPI, Google reviews and testimonials. So we have a KPI structure where we have points and dollar values for certain things, but every positive KPI, every positive Google review is worth 5 points. So we've now developed that, and on a Tuesday, they put out, it's Testimonial Tuesday. So it's on Facebook, Instagram, and we're getting a lot of traction from that. The good thing about it is that it was always in the back of someone's mind to get them, but now it's a focus because it's a KPI. And that every month we're looking for 5 from each property manager. So it just becomes part of it. If you don't focus on it, it's just not going to happen. Do you pick up work from Google reviews, or is it not really part of your business plan?
It's not really part of my business plan. We have picked up work from it, or an owner will let us know, I've had a look at your Google reviews, they're really good. But yeah, I don't think it's a driving force for people to come to us. But
being an award winner will now that you've won the PPM awards.
As soon as I start telling people, it will be a thing, won't it?
I want to wrap up. I want to take you back a little bit. How long have you been in real estate?
16 years.
Can you remember what it was like? Well, you weren't always in property management. You've dabbled in different areas.
Yeah.
But the role of a property manager has changed significantly in that period from what property management was then. I reckon maybe 16 years ago, we probably would have still been going to the bank and doing banking each day. Someone would have been leaving at about sort of 3:30, 4 o'clock to get the mail out every day.
Yes.
And then receptionists would be up. So things have changed a lot. Do you think the expectation on property managers now is vastly different and is enhanced by technology, or we're just doing more?
Well, I don't know, because I wasn't a property manager back when I started. But I think the responsibility and the expectations from owners and tenants is significantly more now than what it ever has been. We're expected to be so many different things. I had to do a presentation on my business the other day, and I said, in one of my slides, I said, we just collect rent, right? And
that's a Dorothy Dix question, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. And so then I did like a word cloud up, and I said, well, we're mediators, we're counsellors, we're this, we're that, we collect rent, we do insurances, we organise this, we organise that, we drink, we dance, we cry, we, we walked around the office like, what is it we do? And people were just throwing words at me.
Yeah.
And so when we did that word cloud up, it was crazy. Just everything that we do. And, looking around the room when I put that slide up, it was like, everyone's just like, oh. So that's why, as an industry, we need to be charging the fees that we do. And, anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole, but.
We haven't really spoken about that, because the fees haven't really changed too much now, 2021, to what they were, say, 2005.
No, not at all.
7% was, are you in that 7% bracket? Is that roughly?
No, I'm more than that.
Okay, so 7% is typical down here. But I get agents, and we spoke before about not focusing on competitors. I get agents where I'll go, and I've got a client just recently I've started working with where they are in that 4% bracket, and they were not wanting to push further because everyone else in that same market was 4%. So they were just trying to compete. And I said, you will never compete. Someone will come in at 3 and 2, and then you've got 3 months free rent and 6 months free rent for management. So you're better off going and setting your own race. Is that what you've done with your business?
I do. And as I said before, I am happy to adjust my fees here and there. But I do also have other fees built into my schedule that I'm happy to waive.
Sure.
My management fee, I like that to stay at that 8.5%. So we average around about 8.3 to 8.4.
Yep.
And I love it when people, you know, we get into a conversation and someone will say to me, you know, are you willing to negotiate your fees? I'm like, absolutely. What were you thinking, like 10 or 12%?
Happy to go up. Why would you want to pay up? I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to go up. What do you want?
And I just love the silence. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, what are you currently paying? Why are you looking to change?
Yeah. That's
right. Well, I think I said to you earlier, you know, I have been able to secure a really good referrer. The agency that they were referring to was at 4%. You know, like, that's crazy. Anyway, that's
4%. We spoke before, Michelle, and I asked you about what your plan was to capitalise on the business once you won the award. One of the things that I did do when I started winning awards, and we're talking about 2012, 13, 14, when I had the agency, was I put my fees up simply because I felt that I could, and it gave you a position. So food for thought there for you. Thank you.
I may or may not have already done that.
Well, you said you hadn't really capitalised on it, but it's a way of positioning yourself, isn't it? Really.
I haven't done it formally yet. There's been some changes made to my schedule that I'm kind of looking at and thinking, no, it's justifiable.
Yeah.
Award or not, but
make it stronger. Well, I don't think once you have a look at the you know, Trello's free, but you've got your Inspection Express, Inspect Real Estate, you know, whether it's Maintenance Manager, Property Me, all those portals. Once you've got all of that on top, we're paying for all these services and all the subscriptions. It really is very difficult to make money out of property management if you're at a low fee base.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we actually charge a subscription fee.
I like it.
We tell our owners they have to, you know, we need to use several pieces of software in order to manage their properties, and this is their contribution toward that.
I like it. I like it. Michelle, let's keep chatting. Thank you very much for taking the time today. I wish you all the best in the next 12 months to really capitalise on the award that you have just won. Let's chat soon.
Thank you.